Hey, cycle breakers and barrier breakers alike. Welcome to the Fuck That Bullshit Podcast, where we advocate, educate, motivate, and create a safe space for you to embrace the mental wealth of marginalized and disenfranchised communities. We are serving no bullshit knowledge, tools, strategies, and insights. And yes, we will be entertaining. Our goal each episode is for you to leave feeling empowered, ready to take action and make meaningful choices that pave the way to your abundant mental wealth. So enjoy, like, subscribe, share, and discuss. Make sure you save it too, just in case you want to look back at it and get some more tips and things. The PTBS Podcast is for education, empowerment, and inspiration. It is not a substitute for therapy or professional mental health care. If you're in need of additional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider. Warning: the Fuck That Bullshit Podcast is intended for mature audiences only. This podcast contains raw, unfiltered conversations about mental health, social issues, and breaking generational cycles. We keep it real, unapologetic, and explicit because healing and empowerment require honesty. We're going to have strong language and adult themes, unfiltered discussions on race, identity, and mental wealth, challenging bullshit narratives without censorship. So if you're easily offended, this might not be for you, and it's definitely not for kids. But if you're ready for bold, barrier-breaking conversations that empower, educate, and entertain, tap in and let's fuck that bullshit together. Let's go. Hey. I was trying to turn it off, y'all, but I didn't hit the button right. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I know it's long at the end.
It is kind of long.
I'm putting that up as soon as I get around to it, I promise.
Yeah, people like, damn, when they coming on? When they coming? I'm looking for.
Just jam to the beat, y'all. When y'all
I know, right? Just rock out. Just rock.
And I will tell y'all the story about that song. Well, when my son made his first real rap song, he tried to be one of the I grew up in the gutter type rappers.
Oh, that's not his jam though, huh?
Oh, bruh. I was a deadbeat. Dad.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Oh,
damn. Made the song for me. He was all proud too.
Oh my
and
God.
I looked at him, I'm like,
he was like, Dad, check this out. My daddy ain't shit. You punk motherfucker. Fred was over there like,
man, you a fraud. Your ass grew up in the suburbs.
That's wild.
I tell you put that song out like that, I'm gonna kick your ass. And all he can do is just look at me and like you're not gonna be one of them rappers, dog.
Right. Like, you gotta figure something else out.
You better be like Drake talking about mama and daddy was at home and all this.
For real.
But he figured it out though. He figured it out.
Our boy came a long way, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Smooth grooving. Absolutely.
Now, would have said the same thing if he would have made like $10 million?
You'd have been like a deadbeat dad. You'd have been like, you need me to hide out and not be present.
Fred have been in interviews like, damn, so Mr. Turner, you a deadbeat dad to your son. Like, you know, yeah, I was. Yeah, that's gonna be an extra 500,000 Friday though. You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
I'm not a deadbeat dad, but I play one in this album.
Yeah. You know, we working it out.
Absolutely. Well, welcome people to the Fuck That Bullshit Podcast tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome. So tonight we are talking about manhood, man. Like what it means to be a man, and like did I put it on this thing? Did I? Maybe. Nope, I didn't. I took off today, y'all. So
It'd be like that.
I don't not be in here. But no, we was talking about before, like, and I've been seeing like in my clients and especially in couples and stuff like that, that there's a huge disparity about like what manhood really means. Like, what does it mean? So, in y'all definition, how you define manhood? What it mean to be a man?
The responsibility piece,
Okay.
the consistency piece,
Okay.
and the leadership piece. It gets complicated once you get on the leadership piece, because everybody don't want to be led, and everybody's not necessarily a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Where and it does depend on the individual. You know what I'm saying? Because your personality may not be that personality where, I want all the viable say so in my household, or I expect to have all the viable say so in my household. I'm not that guy. I want to do what I do best. Then you could do what you do best, and now we doing things together. Every fucking thing's getting done. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of tough to define it because you can't define it in a definitive way. Even though I like the way Ryan Davis put it, you know what I'm saying? And but what he was talking about more about peace and happiness.
What we want,
right, the want. But I think at the end of the day, just simply define the manhood is that respect for the status of a man. You know what I'm saying? In that relationship, you know what I mean, and not redefining it based on the needs of the woman in that relationship. Like you only a man if you do this, and you only a man if you do that, because that's not being a man. That's just meeting your needs. Which they will say that's part of being a man. No, that's part of being a parent. You see what I'm saying? That's part of being a parent. It's not part of being a man.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with most of the stuff you said. The leader part is difficult because everybody doesn't lead the same way. Like, I'm kind of like what Brian was saying. Like, I've got stuff that I do best. If I see you do something better than me, you do that.
Right.
The consistency part for me is the big part. I think as a man, you need to do what you say and say what you mean. Like, don't be like, A, I'm gonna do A, but then you go do Z and bitch and complain about it when I call you out on not doing A.
Right.
So be consistent. That's the big part for me. I mean, the leadership is important.
Yeah.
But if you listen to stuff nowadays, they only talk about one way to lead. There isn't one way to lead. There's a million different ways you can be a leader.
Because you can turn a lead. Eat the cake, anime. Sing the goddamn song. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that anymore. I don't understand this awesome way to lose cut dry. She from out there to kick my ass.
Got that shit too.
Let me clean that shit up right fast. But there are men that lead that way, and then there's other men that lead in that more accommodating way, and you know what I'm saying. And then there's those men that lead in a more manipulative way. I know a guy right now. He wants to be a leader, and he wants to like push that narrative, like I'm the man. You're supposed to do what I say. Not all the way to the Ike Turner scenario,
right?
But that I'm a man and you're supposed to do that, and it's not even the way he was raised. I believe it's the way he thinks. But he's faced with a lot of shit ain't working for him.
Yeah,
because I was gonna say modern woman, but not even a modern woman. Any woman with common sense ain't putting up with that bullshit. It's not even realistic bullshit. Right. You know what I mean? So that shit gets complicated, man. It's hard. I think the best solution for that is if a woman would just listen. Just listen.
Yeah, 100%.
Find out right what he needs, because the expectation of support from a man to a woman is kind of automatic. We gonna support you. You understand? We're gonna be like, oh, my baby this, my baby that, my baby this, and we outward with it. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of women will say, well, yeah, my man do this, my man do that, but you ain't telling him that. And then they'll say,
that's important.
Why I'm gonna tell you? You should already know. No, I shouldn't already know. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't already know. If I did something great, let me know I did something great, because it's just gonna make me want to do more great things. Yeah,
and I tell people like that in general, like, praise the behavior that you want to see repeated, right? Mm-hmm. That's how you get kids to continue to do a thing. It works better than punishment does. You did the thing. I'm gonna praise you for it and all that. And I find that a lot of men, their love language is words of affirmation, because they don't get it. They don't get it all the time.
Right.
And stuff like that. I like the women should listen piece. Important. And with the consistency, I saw some guys say, a real man does what he says he gonna do. He followed through.
Right.
You're gonna do something, do it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the core of it. So I got a video about the 7 qualities.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at that.
Being a real man isn't about how much you can bench or the size of your bank account. It's about character, action, and how you show up for yourself and others. Let me break it down. Accountability. A real man owns his decisions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He doesn't play the blame game. He admits when he's wrong, learns from it, and make things right. Respect for others. Respect isn't just for the people you like. It's for everyone you meet. From how he treats the waitress to how he speaks to his partner, a real man shows respect to everyone, regardless of status. Emotional intelligence. A real man understands his emotions and doesn't run from them. He communicates, he listens, and he's not afraid to be vulnerable when it matters. Strength isn't suppressing your feelings. It's knowing how to deal with them. Providing and protecting. Being a provider isn't just financial. It's emotional, mental, and physical too. A real man creates a safe space where his loved ones feel secure, valued, and supported. Honesty and integrity. His word is his bond. A real man is straightforward, doesn't sugarcoat, and lives by his principles. You never have to second guess where he stands. He says what he means and means what he says. Humility. A real man knows he doesn't have all of the answers, and that's okay. He's willing to learn, listen, and grow without letting his ego get in the way. Leadership with compassion. Leadership doesn't mean control. A real man leads by example, uplifts others, and makes decisions with wisdom and heart. Here's my final thought. Being a real man is about balance, strength, and vulnerability. Confidence and humility, discipline and compassion. It's not about proving yourself to the world, but staying true to who you are.
That brother had a lot of good stuff to say.
He did have a lot of good stuff to say.
What did you think about what he said?
I think he had a lot of good stuff to say, but I think the piece everything he's saying was great. Let me say that, and everything he said I agree with, and everything he said is the type of man I push to be.
Right.
But so I really agree. My actions say I agree, but and again, I ain't trying to get in no trouble behind my podcast. I'm not saying this is not my situation.
No,
I'm saying in a scenario where you are that man, and those 7 things he mentioned are that's your mantra. That's what you live by, right? But you have a woman that don't conform to any of that. You know what I'm saying? And then every single solitary thing he says, you begin to become the opposite of each freaking thing that lead by compassion turns into aggression. That be in control of your emotions. Nope, you're hooping and hollering and throwing a fucking PlayStation 5 through a window. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe not a PlayStation 5. No, it's something else. Maybe. but that's what I'm saying. Like again, that being, because you could be a real man all day long and be single,
right?
And you always good. Because you're not in a relationship, which means people gonna be like, man, dude, a real man, you know, he keep his word, and you know, he mean what he say, he treat everybody good, but there's nobody opposing your personality and your way at that point. So you open and free to be that, and everybody respects it because everybody ain't got to live with it. Right. So, but when you're in a relationship and then you find yourself, you know, that way is your way. And then you got a woman like, you know, well, nah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna oppose that. And you just gonna greet all these bitches in here because you treating it. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna greet all the bitches all the bitches that come by. You just got how you doing? You know what I'm saying? So you that the whole concept in a relationship, and I think that's what a lot of brothers miss. Is when, and especially brothers who giving men advice on what a real man is, or giving an opinion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like that's a unit thing. That's a unit thing. If you got a Toyota Corolla and you say, yo, I want some 28s on here, you can't. 28-inch tires ain't gonna fit on a Toyota Corolla. So no matter what kind of man you are, you have to have somebody on that opposite end that accommodates these things that you are, you know.
And that's what I was going to bring up. It's a matter of being able to receive what that man is. And if you didn't grow up with a good example, or, you know, you experiencing your own trauma and all that, you know, because me, myself, because I don't know what it look like when it show up, I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
But I think also with those, because he said a lot of good stuff that I live by. Yeah. You know, try and live by all 7 of them. Right. If like in scenario that Brian gave, either 2 things gonna happen. You're gonna try and stay and make that work and give up all your principles and your convictions. Or you're going to be like, you taking me out of character. This is not who I am. Yeah. You got to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But a lot of them don't want to walk away. You got to be, if you're a man of your principles and you see like, okay, woman, this ain't working. You know, you got to be willing to walk away. Let it go. You got to be able to let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's hard for us as men to do that, because when we love our woman, we love our woman. Mm-hmm. We don't love all the material shit. It's you who we're with. When we do stuff, we don't always do it for us. Mm-hmm. We do it to make you happy. But if making you happy is making me miserable,
then that's a problem.
Then it's a problem. Then I got to make a choice. And what a lot of women be like, well, you left and you never, because when we're gone, we're gone. That's it. We ain't coming back. Yeah. Because it's not my job to fix you. And if you see I'm doing A, B, and C, and you just rejecting everything that I'm doing, and now I notice, or maybe Brian will be like, say, bro, what the hell wrong with you? This is not you. Right. Because sometimes it takes another man that's close to us, that know us, to make us realize when we're not us, because they respected that person. Right. And now I'm somebody totally different. Then you got to make that choice.
Yep.
That makes sense.
What Devontae was saying?
Devontae said,
which one? Hold on. He said this.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
The partner is an important piece to the entire conversation surrounding what is what it is to being a man. It's very fluid, but like Dad said, if you're with a woman that doesn't conform to the ideals of the man that you are, it becomes complicated.
Yeah. Yep. Facts. All right. Because that's what I'm saying. It's like, and it is. It's like Fred said. It's like I was saying. It's like it doesn't. It almost went as far as relationships. Like if we, just speaking as being a man in that couple environment, it kind of doesn't matter what kind of man you are. You could be that man all day long. And I've watched men be the man that they are, and then get in a relationship, and then change the kind of man they are to accommodate the relationship.
Okay, so with that being said, is there like how much is performative? Is the performance because they got a woman? But like they feel like they need to conform to, because that would if this is your character, like you stick about these 7 things is who you are, right? Then you get into a relationship with this woman, and then that changes, then you're performing then, right? At that point.
Oh, 100%. Because the real you was the you at the beginning. And then in order to keep the relationship, because that man, and it depends on the kind of man you are, is gonna value that woman, because and here's the crazy, stupid, complicated thing. Men are taught you put yourself second to your woman.
Yeah.
So for me to have to change my character to make my woman happy,
right?
You see what I'm saying? Then that's it. Because for most men, it's no different than, well, I like this job I got and I really enjoy working here, but my old lady said I don't make enough money, so I took this other job that's some bullshit, but that motherfucker pay more. So I'm gonna take the other job, man. I gotta, and then we'll say shit like, gotta take care of my family. You was taking care of your family with the other job.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You was doing just fine with the other job, but this job pays more money. And it almost depends on where's the mentality of this woman. And a man will bend a lot. You know what I'm saying? But then, and going back to what Fred said, once you break though, I want somebody to open your eyes and say, hey, nigga, you bending a lot. You know what I'm saying? You begin to internalize it, because it's easy for us to, to bite into that, to bite that apple and roll with that. I'm doing for my family, and we'll repeat it. And I'm telling you, you'll know when a man is bending. If you ever have a conversation with a man and he constantly talking about, man, I do this for my family. And a lot of people think he bragging. No, he's convincing himself that that thing that he's doing that he doesn't want to do, he got to keep doing it, keep doing it. You know what I mean? And it gets difficult, because of course, being a man, like I've always said, being a man follows a guideline that meets the needs of women. It has very little to do with the man as an individual,
So now, Nell, if you think about it, that Ryan Davis clip that I sent you, remember when he said, a woman's sphere is predicated on being happy?
Right, yeah. Because that makes sense what he said, because he's saying that like women seek happiness and men seek peace, right? Because men have already decided there's no way for me to be happy, because me being happy is not going to make her happy.
No, right.
Happiness me don't. So I'm just going. The best thing for me is just to be peaceful,
right? And it's not even so much about being happy. Like, we've gotten accustomed to just not expecting the happiness piece, because we. And I'm not saying this about all women, of course, but I'm just saying this. But I am kind of saying it about all women. You kind of, most women do view their man in that like a motor, like you're just supposed to keep doing these things, and that the give is rare. So when the give happens, it's a big deal. Like we be running around happier than a punk on Dick Street. You know what I'm saying? We're like, damn, boy. And I'm telling you, and brothers will brag like, man, look, my old lady got me this, got me this 504 shirt. Saints playing like shit. We did win today, but you know what I'm saying? And we like super excited about these small things, but because the small things are rare, and it's not that your woman don't give a damn, fellas. It's just that we not viewed in that light, and we don't even carry ourselves in that light because we never were taught to appreciate ourselves. All right.
Man. Yeah. Learn a lot of stuff. So,
making you think. See, this is why
the men's out here on the street, and it's even harder if you're a Saints fan.
It's real hard.
And you're going through right now. I'm gonna put my number up on the screen. You can call me for one-on-one counseling. That winning day was some bullshit. Glad it happened, but it was some bullshit. Right. Back
yeah. Wow. So I'm, as a woman, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to understand, right? Because I've seen that piece too, where it's like, even like in my own relationship, where I'm like, well, what do you want? What do you like? And all that. Now, what do you want?
Right.
And I'm like, no, but like, you should be able to get what you want. And then no, that don't matter. What do you want?
Exactly.
And he hears you. He hear you, because that right there is rare. That is not always there. The reason why me and my wife been married over 20 years is because we both learned each other. She took time out to be like, he like this, he don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
He do this like this, he don't do this like that.
Right.
He leads like this, not like this.
Like that. Right.
So when when people be like, "Oh, y'all seem like y'all on the same page," you damn right we on the same page.
Right. Because
we worked at that shit. We figured each other out.
That shit takes time too. Yeah, because you don't go into no relationship with my likes and my dislikes written down on a fucking piece of loose leaf paper. That's a learned thing.
Get into certain things, right? Because relationships bring those things out of you. Like you don't know, because people are always like you say, even with the man thing, like you don't know until you experience the thing, right?
Right.
And stuff like that.
You gotta want to know too. You gotta
That's
as a woman, you have to care enough and want to know what your man want. And that's why, like, when you like, well, what you want? It's foreign, and his first instinct is just to say, it don't matter what I want. It's what you want. So you keep doing that. And
for real. And for real, for me, I think that statement his response was twofold. It was exactly what Fred said. I'm pointing up at Fred's square up there. It's exactly. But for me at top, right?
It might be over there.
But it's exactly what Fred said, and it's also like, oh shit, I appreciate you more just because you asked me that. Now let me do something for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can forget doing something for me. God damn it. Just the mere fact that you said that to me, now I want to do something for you. You know what I mean? So it's hard, bro. It's hard out here, man.
Right. Yeah, I don't do it, but I'm sincerely like, because y'all are my brothers. I see y'all do things, right? And all that. And so I have, even though I didn't grow up my whole life with a man in my house, I do have men as good examples, right?
Right.
And stuff like that. And so I come from a compassionate place, right? Because I never believed in that whole, happy wife, happy life thing. Because I was like, I think everybody should.
I still want to know who came up with that bullshit.
I know, right?
Because just like historically, women have experienced, men who don't care about whether they, whether they orgasm, right? Whether they having good sex or not. It's like, hit it, quit it, keep moving, right?
Right.
So in the opposite, though, women will tend to not care about a man's needs in other areas, right?
Right.
And stuff. And so I feel like there should be an exchange there. Like there's no way we should get in the bedroom and you don't care about whether I get mine. But at the same time, I should not fail to care about whether you're getting your needs met in whatever ways you need to get.
Right. Yeah. And like the sex piece of it does get complicated, because I've like damn near taught, and just in conversation with women, I'm like, most women believe that a man just want to put it in and get what they want to get and get the fuck out of it. And I was like, I said, but that's because women been taught that, and unfortunately, men been reinforcing that. You know what I'm saying? Remember, and we either in from a media and social standpoint, men been reinforcing that they just want to do that, or that their only focus is pleasuring that woman. Not true. I've always said, man, most of the things within reason, the other stuff you got to talk to your man about, right. But most of the stuff within reason that make you feel good makes that man feel good too. He wants, he want to feel wanted, and you want to feel like you think he all like it's not. For most men are taught that the whole act of sex is just about that woman. You know what I'm saying? It's just about that woman. Like you there to be a tool and work the tool, brother. You know what I'm saying? And even that fucks with a manhood, because if that's why I be looking at them Hims commercials, and motherfuckers is like every fucking where. It's like, oh, performance drugs. Hey, that shit'll fucking kill you if you getting it and don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Let me put that fucking disclaimer out there. Y'all motherfuckers keep on with that bullshit. If I'll DJ your after funeral party. But yeah, nigga died with his dick in his hand. You know what I'm saying? It ain't necessary to die like that.
It's 20-year-olds taking that shit, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the main people that's getting it. A lot of younger people that absolutely don't need it. But again, that's that pressure of performance. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, like when God rest dead, Prince was alive, everybody wanted to be that Prince sexy dude. You know what I'm saying? But nobody was saying Prince had them bras taking care of his ass too. But we never taught that, because a man-to-man conversation, be it an uncle, be it like, you got to really be talking to a open-minded motherfucker to talk to a young man and say, yeah, bro, look, that woman need to rub up on you too. You know what I'm saying? So we never learn these pieces. So we go through our high school years putting it in. You know what I'm saying? Putting it in. And then at some point in adulthood, you begin to change, because you begin to realize, like, goddamn, I want you to rub my hair too. Because when you look at it, when you do the math, and y'all don't lie out there in TV land either. Y'all niggas be looking at porn. You look at a porn video, right? That woman giving that man fellatio for 45 fucking minutes. It's 90% of the video. Right. You see what I'm saying? But what people don't realize, that's intentional. That's the fantasy part, because those are the things that men don't actually get in real life. You understand? And I'm sure it's uncomfortable to be doing that shit that long, ladies. I don't know personally. I ain't engaged in that shit.
Your neck muscles can, get backed up. So, like, be careful out there. Okay.
If you say so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna take your word for
it. But I think that, like, with any sex act though, right? Because people also make the assumption that sex lasts as long as it does on a porn video as well, and all that. And so, like, they do lots of takes and enhancing and doing the things in between, y'all, and stuff like that. But they think, okay, like for an hour and a half, they was just going at it. There was
no. Okay. For anybody out there watching, real sex does not last for an hour and 30 fucking minutes. Okay.
Right. So I think, even like I say, even with that, I think that women will tend to think that's almost like a reward, or like it's been treated as like that's the exchange or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think at this point now, yeah, it is, because I'll buy you a tennis bracelet. I don't know if people still buy tennis bracelets.
They do.
Okay. I'll buy you a tennis bracelet for Valentine's Day, and you just give me your naked ass. So, I mean, like, damn, you could have bought me a watch.
Right. Right, because that's not equal, right?
Because the world is convinced, like, all you gotta do is just get that motherfucker some ass, he'll be okay.
Right. And that's what I think the issue is, like, they don't.
Yeah.
Women don't see sex because from our point of view, we want connection, we want to be touched, we want, the intimacy and all that. Women don't think that men want or need that. So when they asking for sex or want sex, I think they feel like it's just that physical thing. And so like, I feel like objectified. No, he also wants to be close to you. He wants to exchange with you. He like the same things we want, the same things that y'all want, intimacy, right?
Yep. Right. And that's it. Key word, being intimate. Then you know what I mean? Like, because that's how really only time you need to get to be as vulnerable and free. I'm a Virgo, so I'm, very vulnerable person. So you know what I'm saying? So,
but as men, we was never taught that. If you talk like that, your ass was gay.
You was up, bitch ass. Nigga, you vulnerable, bitch ass nigga, old vulnerable ass.
Intimacy. Yeah. Well, you better get it
in. Exactly. It's almost like young men was raised on that Ike Turner mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's something my boy said when he said leadership, that like brought you back to that when you said, leadership is different in different people's eyes, and so responsible leadership is important.
Right. But I mean, that's the difference between somebody saying like, oh, we gonna do this just because I said we gonna do it. No research, no background. It's just what the motherfucker want to do. And if you have that, and that's why it's like, it has to be like, I feel like couple wise, it gotta be together, gotta be that 100 move. You know what I'm saying? Cause like right now, like we buying a house. Man, them people is like, okay, so who number and email should we put down for the contact people? Bloop, I pointed right at my wife, like, don't email me, nigga. I don't check no email.
Right.
You got to call me. And if I'm watching Mayor Kingstown, I'm not answering. So it's like, I know what, you know what I'm saying, what my strengths and my weaknesses are. I know where I'm overly paid. Like once we in the house, I'm like, I'm about to change all these goddamn sockets in this. I know where my strengths are, and I know where her strengths are, because she showed me and I see them. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a respect thing. But I do like how you say, leadership is not telling people what to do. It's absolutely not. Most brothers think it is, though.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? They think it is, but that's that slave mentality shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that slave mentality shit. Because they do look at leaders as, unfortunately, Anglo-Saxon white people that's bossing. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got so many niggas. I'm a boss. I'm a lady boss. I'm a man boss. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a fucking boss. Nigga, you a rapper. Yeah, exactly. You a rapper or a fucking influencer. You ain't a boss. You just you got your own business. But everybody has their own fucking businesses. If you work a 9 to 5, nigga, that's your business.
That's your business.
That's your fucking business.
Yes. I'm glad you brought up, our Anglo-Saxon counterparts. Because of course I always take the stuff back to slavery and looking at how do you think, and I think you mentioned this when y'all did your last man show, the idea that buck breaking and different things stripped away some of that, what a man is or should be and all that, how much influence I feel like that's had from then up until now.
You know what? I actually went back and looked at that when we talked about it. I feel like back then it didn't have that much of like stripping the manhood away from like your family trying for that, because I think back then at that time the women understood exactly what they was trying to do.
Okay.
And they understood why their man was doing that, because he was doing that to protect his family.
Right.
Right. Nowadays, they've gotten to the point to where if you don't act like this, or this, you're not a man.
Right, and that's where like that performative thing comes. It's like, okay, a real man pays all the bills, so niggas are paying all the bills, right? So like,
right. And that I think comes from our Anglo-Saxon counterparts, because in the 50s and in the 60s, besides the fact that at one point in time women couldn't go get a job,
right,
they paid all the bills, but then you were able to pay all the bills back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's when they try and go back to like the traditional thing, and I always like to remind people who throw that up. You could never be a traditional man. You could never be a traditional woman. Okay, they couldn't go work. My grandmother got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, cooked all our asses breakfast. When we woke up, that shit was already on the table.
Right.
Our grandfather, I'm sorry, I almost said mine. He went to work, got his paycheck, kept $100 for himself, gave all the rest of that to Shirley.
Right. Right.
These
and
dudes nowadays could never question what she did with the money. These dudes nowadays could never do that. They could never do that because they're being taught, don't share your resources. Why you gonna give all your resources to your woman? Keep your shit for yourself.
Right. But that's that hurt nigga shit. You know, all it was one nigga in a popular position got his fuck. Like when I would hear like rap songs or even R&B songs were like, you know, oh, yeah, fuck a bitch and all that shit. Like, yeah, it's hurt nigga music. You know, that's all it is. It's hurt nigga music. Trying to put that shit out on us, nigga. That's you. You understand? That's not all of it. That's you, nigga.
You're not being good.
I mean, right? Because that's exactly how I do. You know, we got a shared account and a bill account. Money go in the fucking shared. You know, my check and my wife's check go in our shared account. She pull out whatever she gonna pull out. That's that. You understand what I'm saying? I threw my little chump change on my little cash app. I go get my little liquor. That's what makes me happy. and then I'm when you're drinking it. Exactly. And then I'm chilling. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like Fred said, though, I do think that I don't think it has as much to do with the buck breaking. I don't think it dates that far back.
Okay.
I do, because like Fred was saying, you know, during that time frame, you know, when women couldn't work, bills were more accountable, and that was an Anglo-Saxon thing too, because they didn't want to fuck over their group, so we got some of the perks of reasonable billing. Nowadays, it's like, okay, we can't fuck over them without fucking over y'all too, so fuck y'all. So now we all fucked. You understand what I'm saying? Now we all fucked. So, but I what I do think is them today is that instead of attacking the male, let's reinforce the female. And turn her against the male. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you look at it. I mean, out of nowhere, it was like, "Fuck, I don't need a man," and "Fuck niggas," and "Niggas ain't shit." And I was like, "What is this weird phenomenon?" And it seemed totally unprovoked. And then it got worse when the dudes jumped on the bandwagon. You know, he had your Samuel, what was his name? Kevin Samuels. You know, those types like, you know, you ain't a qualified woman. Oh, you want to be a real man, you got to buy that woman a diamond necklace. Niggas, shut the fuck up. So you know what I'm saying? Like it went into everything. So what they realized is like, we could just pay these niggas and they'll fuck over each other. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the younger group being influenced by influencers, and they believe in that because people don't turn to TV, they just turn to social media. That's where they get their information.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
And social media is more popular than, you know, like for us, like people like Michael Jackson, Prince, the fucking OJs, you know what I mean? People that were in those worldwide positions were the popular people. But now you got people that just do a podcast, have more say so and more influence than people that you would think have that influence. You know what I'm saying? And some of these motherfuckers are saying anything, and they just buying into it. It becomes the new mentality, just like fucking spinning rims. It's the style to not need a man. It's the style for a man to say, you know, well, no dummy. I've never heard one so far. For no man jump out there and say, I don't need no woman, because that's just stupid. That's just fucking stupid.
I ain't never heard one say that. But I think they took white America, the elitists, because it all comes from the top. They use the influencers to influence the lesser educated people. They took feminism, which they started that because they just wanted to work and they wanted to vote. but then they got the blacks, the Mexicans, they got everybody else to jump on it with them. And then it just became a tool to be like, you don't need a man. Go get your own college education. You don't need a man to do this. You don't need a. And then it turned into that. And like, we got more educated black women now than we ever did. True, they got more black women with degrees than men. Because we had to go to work.
Right.
We went to work so you could go to school. Shit like that. And it did morph into what Brian was talking about. It morphed into this weird kind of thing. Like you said, just like COVID, it just came out of nowhere. Like, when did y'all start feeling like that? Because it seemed like 10 years ago, I was listening to people like, I was listening to Anita Baker talk about how she couldn't live without a man.
Right. I think it happened, but I think it did. I think Jim Crow, I think the welfare, I think those things influenced it. And
I can see that.
Almost programmed us to, like, because when welfare first started and all that, you could not have a man in your house in order to qualify for it, right? And so
for us to qualify for it,
that movie, is it Cornbread Earl and Me? Is that the, because like I think shoot.
No, oh my God, I know what movie you're talking about. Oh man, that soundtrack was beast too. Gladys Knight and them did the whole soundtrack. James Earl Jones played in that shit.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. That shit gonna come back.
It was a matter of like, he wanted to be there for the family. He wanted to be in there, but he could not live there, and she still get her subsidies, right? But he still wanted to take care of his family and all. And so I'm sure there was a whole lot of that. And then, as systemic racism is, if you can't get no job, then you can't take care of your family.
Right.
Now, government subsidies taking care of your family on your behalf. At some point, I think the women started believing the hype that the men didn't want to. Right. And if you got a man out here that's struggling hard, busting his behind, doing his best, trying to get, income and all that, and trying to get what's necessary to take care of his family, then that becomes a depressed man, a sad man, a withdrawn man, right? And all that. And then that woman feels, like by herself. At some point, you develop a mentality that you don't need it, right? Any need that goes unmet for a period of time, in order to soften the blow for yourself, you pretend you don't need it. Right. I had my own moment from that just the other day, because one of the gentlemen that I call my son bought me flowers, right? And my son-in-law had called my man and asked what kind of flowers I like. He said, she don't like flowers, but let me ask her. So he sent me a text message. He said, I know you don't like flowers, but what kind of flowers do you like? I'm like, yellow roses. And if, it's, anything yellow, really, and orchids are nice. He was like, I'm not buying you no flowers. I was like, well, what the hell you asking me for? All right. And so he's like, somebody wanted to buy you some flowers, but you told me you didn't like flowers. But when this boy gave me flowers, when my son gave me flowers, I was like, oh my God. And so when I talked to my man about it, he was like, yeah, you right telling me for all these years you ain't like flowers. I said, well, I didn't think that I like flowers. Right. But I realized I didn't think I liked flowers because I hadn't gotten any. Right. And when I did get some, it was performative. It was, look at me giving her flowers. Right. And so I convinced myself I didn't have the need. I convinced myself I don't want that. I don't need that. Right. So I just conceded to it because it didn't happen. So to keep my heart from being broken, from being sad about it, I pretended I didn't need it.
Right.
And the same thing happened over time with women, where they was like, they didn't get needs met. And we're not going to discount them fuck ass niggas. We talking about real, not talking about fuck ass niggas. Yeah. I think the fuck ass niggas also had part in that, because you run into enough fuck ass niggas, you feel like, okay, this is the standard, this is who they are. So I don't need that shit.
Yeah.
I'd rather do bad I can do bad by myself, right? And all that. So I think it was a combination of those things. And there are some women, and I went through a phase myself that I don't necessarily need a man, but I always wanted to be in a relationship anyway, because I want to be in a relationship. But concerned about whether I could find the right person, right? And even when you find the right person and then those things don't match up, right? And stuff like that. What I felt like was leadership, even though I didn't know much about what it was, I knew that wasn't it, right?
Right.
So eventually had to leave that. So even though I never ever can say or will say that I know exactly what manhood looks like, that's why y'all doing most of the talking. Because I'm not a man. But I know from a woman's point of view what I would like to have, right? But everything that I would like to have ain't necessarily good for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't always know, right? Because I don't like the concept of, just give her what she want. I don't need you to give me what I want all the time, because sometimes I need to be told no. And that's part of that responsible leadership for me, to be able to be like, oh no, I want you to be happy. And you think you're gonna be happy with that, but I can see, baby, you're not gonna be happy with that. So and let me pout, let me bitch, let me whine, let me complain. But good and damn well that thing ain't good for me, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna get over it, and at some point I'm gonna be like, he was right. He was right. I shouldn't have. Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
And I think for some men that don't like, they don't like that part, the whining, the complaining, or the bitching, or whatever the case may be. But that's a woman's process. She got to go through a thing or whatever. If you know that that's not good, you got to say no. You got to say no.
Right.
And she'll be all right, But I think that as a therapist, that's where the childhood wounds come from, right? Because if my mama didn't take care of me well, love me well, give me hugs and kisses, all the things that I needed as a little boy and growing up as a teenage boy and all that stuff, if she was unable to do that, plus I did not have a male figure who could also pour into me that balance, right? Then I grew up being a man who has a mother wound. And so this woman is reminding me of my mama, or not reminding me of my mama, or I'm scared of abandonment, so I got to do what she want me to do, or I'm overly aggressive because you're not going to tell me what to do.
Right.
There's some imbalance there because that child and you have not been healed, or you haven't, taken care of that part. And so that spills out into the relationship.
Yeah. Could be. I can't say for sure, because most of the men I know most of the men didn't have that male figure in the home, but they had that male leadership outside.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there was that, and they definitely had mamas, because every last one of my partners' mama was my mama too. So you know what I mean? I was surrounded by the love,
I think that's missing too, because in a situation, because I say all the time with mine, and I know my mama loved me, and she had her faults, but the areas where she did not match up, I promise you, throughout my lifespan, I had a Miss Rubin, I had a female, a woman, auntie-like, and stuff like that was there for me, right? And stuff like, my mama and Auntie Mona wasn't getting along, but I could call Auntie Mona if I need to, know, and stuff like that. So there's a that even when Auntie Glory was living, I know I could call Auntie Glory,
right.
I had other women in my life that took up that slack, right? And stuff like that. And I think today our community ain't tight enough. We need to get back to that community.
And that's the thing. There is a lack of community, because we see a lot of adult men doing little boy shit. We see a lot of adult women doing little girl shit. So it's like the roles reverse. Instead of them trying to be like us, it's like a bunch of us trying to be like them. It's like, I don't need to be 20-year-old hip. For fucking what? I did that shit already, and my time was better than your fucking time.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that lack of community. You got too many adult men trying not to act their age, right? And which is fine if you want to feel younger than what you are. That's great.
That's fine.
But you don't need to try to blend in with the 16, 17, 20-year-olds to the point where you hanging with 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? So because what the fuck, like, why in the fuck do you know what's going on with NBA YoungBoy? You know what I'm saying? It's like why? And it's not, and you know, and even as a DJ, my son was talking to me the other day. I was like, damn, I didn't know that. I just know the nigga latest song, you know, because it's my job to know that piece.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm not interested in your personal business. When people's like, "Oh, Cardi B album," you know, it was a diss album. Oh, who she dissing?
Right, exactly. I brought up,
I was like, she dissed Nicki Minaj.
All the reason I know is I was listening to these kids talk. That's the only way I know anything.
Exactly.
I would have known nothing.
Nah, these children got the internet. We had MTV and fucking BET after dark.
That was it.
You know, our time came and went. You know, it's just time to be an adult. But that community aspect is not there. We, you know, most. And that's a downfall for Black people. It's not enough of that each one teach one mentality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The young men don't have those OGs. And I'm not talking about a nigga that's gonna teach you how to do dumb shit.
No.
A nigga that's offering game, real game, you know, how to survive, how to make it, how to be a good man. You know, even if it's just their perspective on how to be a good man, to tell you 100 fucking things and you'd be like 5 things out of 100 things I could use them. You know what I mean? But it's But we live off the internet now, you know.
Yeah. So all the role models are now on the internet, because even like what Brian just said, we had dumb motherfuckers back in the day that was grown but didn't have no common sense.
Right.
The other OGs would tell you, don't talk to that.
Yep, they know.
Don't talk to that
nigga. You don't believe that shit.
For real, that motherfucker ain't shit. Don't talk to, like, they would tell you.
Yep.
But, you know, nobody's warning people. Like, everybody role models. Their role models are their age.
Right. It's
crazy.
Peer, and it's 100% peer educated information. So, nigga, if I'm 10 and you 10, you can't tell me no more than what I already fucking know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know, I'm finding myself even in that space as a therapist or whatever, when I have younger women, you know, asking questions or, you know, trying to be this way or that way in a relationship and all that. And literally I'm like, sweetheart, don't do that. like that don't make sense. No, that's not how men work. I'm learning a lot about men. That's not how men work. Like, you know, and just, you know, being that older person who's saying like, you know, baby, why are you screaming at him? Like, that's not necessary. That's not gonna get your point across. So you need that kind of influence. You need an OG in your life to tell you when you're being stupid. To tell you.
I mean, I tell people all the time, I base human life on Animal Planet.
For real, that's the truth.
In this is weird, but and when I explain this, it's gonna make sense.
It's gonna make sense. Go ahead.
In Africa, when they slaughter all these elephants for their ivory, they slaughter the older elephants because they have the bigger tusks.
Right.
The older elephants keep the younger male elephants in check. When they have a lack of the older elephants, the younger elephants run wild, and they just be just like doing
dumb
shit, like dumb shit. But when they started introducing older elephants into their herds, all the younger elephants calmed their ass down.
So you need the elders.
You got an OG that's gonna check your ass when you're out here wilding out. So when you want to wild out on one of the females or one of the younger elephants, the OG come knock your ass down real quick and be like, "Yeah, sit your ass down, bro." And then they can't beat them. So you take your ass over there and out and do whatever it is you want to do. That's the same thing now, but
that's a good point too, because we have a gap between and I know where some of it comes from, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but like there's a gap between the lack of respect from older people.
Yeah.
Right? And some of that does come from, before we start the show, we was talking about Christianity and, some of the foolishness involved in that. And I think as we started transitioning, out of wanting to hear and hoop and hollering, pastors versus actual teaching pastors, or, just doing stuff a little different and stuff like that, and exploring those things, then I think we somehow lost also the respect just for that person's life, like the living part, the wisdom that they did gain. Because just because I don't believe like you believe in church, Grandma, does not mean the wisdom of your years doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And I think we did not separate that when people started, exploring and opening up their minds, right? But to open up your mind don't mean to lose your mind. Still go talk to your grandma because she knows some shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, she believes in Jesus in a different way than you do, but she still got some wisdom to offer you just throughout her lifespan and how she's done things. So you can't, it's like throwing a baby out with the bathwater, right? You can't throw everything away. Just take what you can use and use it, but you still have to listen to it. They dissed everything. Old people don't know what they talk about. Yeah, they have some.
We kind of do, because I've lived longer than you.
Right. Period. That's it. Just because of that, I've had more experiences, and so listen to my experiences so I can share them with you. If it apply, it apply. If it don't, it don't. That's cool. But you might get a nugget out of it.
Yeah. And I always tell people, I don't tell nobody what to do. When my children became adults, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm giving you advice. You can take it, use it for what you want, use whatever is useful to you, or you can not use it at all. But but if you choose not to use nothing, don't come bitching and complaining when that shit that you going out there and do don't work.
Right.
Don't come, because I gave you advice and you could have at least looked at it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you advice. And I'm 100 for 100. When they don't take their advice or at least look at it and go out and do some dumb shit and the shit don't work, and I'm sitting there looking at them while they bitching and complaining. Damn. All right.
I think, like,
what you gonna do now?
with from the youth aspect, I think with a lot of youth today, especially, don't understand this. Ain't shit changed. Nothing is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing is different. So and I think for us, that's why it was a lot easier for us to accept advice. And I'm pretty sure at some point or another, somebody said something to each one of us here at some point. We was like, man, I ain't doing that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we've all made that, and I'm gonna call it a mistake, because it is a mistake. Because but I think our generation knew a lot earlier that all this shit is the same shit, but we had a more took our history a lot more seriously. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I think a lot of today's you try to be like, oh, everybody's the same, which is a cool concept. It's not a fact. But but we had a more close relationship with our history. So, but I think today's you think it's different because I don't know, because they got a Tesla, because there's an electric car, but fuck, there was always an electric car. That shit ain't new either. You know what I mean? So I think they don't realize that shit is different. So I mean, that shit is like literally the same shit. It's just a download instead of a fucking cassette tape. It's the same shit.
Right. And like you said, like if you thinking of the download and like just like the music influence, it used to influence us too. We just had different kind of music.
Yeah,
right. But we had our adult music was performed by adults, and our youth music catered to youth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? New Edition was singing about the fucking girlfriend in high school. Absolutely. Michael Jackson was enough. The closest thing Michael Jackson got to a love song back in the day, he was singing about a fucking rat, which was a pet. Which we could relate to.
Liberian girl, that's my jam.
Yeah, well, he was more. We was kind of a little older then.
Older,
but today they got fucking 16-year-olds singing about adult content. So now you got 16-year-olds. I remember I was excited because I found a Playboy magazine, and I was like in 8th grade, and I saw the woman butt naked, and I was like, "Damn, that's a butt naked woman! Oh my god!" You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, this is nothing. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers it's everywhere. That shit is absolutely not a fucking big deal to them. Like, and it's fine. I was just telling my kids how my mama wouldn't let me watch Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, it took a long time.
Adult content. When I finally got a chance to watch it, I was like, man, ain't shit happening on here.
Yeah, nothing happening on
there. So many things we could not watch.
Right, because we used to watch Benny Hill thinking we was doing something.
Bro, for real.
Benny Hill,
oh my God.
Happening on Benny Hill ever. Ever. We still thought we was doing some shit.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And so these children not, I mean, and that's why they out here, you know, living to die. You see what I'm saying? Because even the concept of loss of life is not a big deal to them. To us, I thought nothing happened to children 14 and under because we were kids. It's like, don't nobody mess with no kids. Kids are safe. They blessed by God, streets of gold and mansions and shit. We good, we covered. But not. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was a thing then, but it was more unheard of.
Again, we also, and of course, with the invention of the internet and stuff, you know, everything is more accessible. So yeah, there's an increase in all the things, right? Accessibility. However, back to community, a lot of stuff didn't happen to us because the neighbors was watching. Everybody was still watching. You know, I knew what time you were supposed to be home and have your ass inside, even if your mom wasn't home.
Right. Each one teach one, man.
If your ass was outside, we weren't supposed to be outside. They had your mama number, and they're like, "Hey, Brian and them stand, they hanging outside with them boys again." You know what I'm saying? Then your mama come home, beat your ass. So like, you didn't play around. Like the eyes were everywhere, and the community took care of you, right?
Yep.
You know, Mr. and Mrs. Brown next door can tell me what to do. They can.
Exactly. Like the time we was playing in the street, and we was like a block up from Mimi house, and Miss Bellazan, but we all recognized her car. We was like, "Oh, that's Miss Bellazan, that's Miss Bellazan." Everybody ran and hid because we knew she was gonna go right to Mimi house and she was gonna say something. But that was community, taking care of community. And you know, the new thing is that's none of my business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm my own man, I'm my own woman, you know what I'm saying? About my own clothes.
Plus parents who decided they didn't want nobody to tell them nothing.
Right.
That too. Yeah.
Right. I think that's the worst thing a parent can do is, you know, try to isolate their children like your ass is gonna be everywhere. Because you got people who will see you act like that and say, "I can't wait till that motherfucker needs something because I ain't doing it." Right. You know what I'm saying? And you know why? Because I'm that motherfucker. I'm telling you, I'll see somebody acting like an asshole. I'll be like, "Boy, I can't wait till that bitch get a flat tire. I'm gonna walk right past her fucking ass with a fucking tie iron." Putting that motherfucker around like, "You need one of these? Fuck you, bitch." You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. The community is necessary. It's necessary. How? And we talk about the deficiencies at this point, like why the definition is skewed and all that. Is there any connection to the manhood thing with regard to emotional intelligence? And you know, don't feel emotional, don't feel emotions, don't cry, you know, be a man, you know, and all that. How much is that tied to the emotional? The emotional intelligence is enough to manage your own emotions as a man versus what's the boundary? What's the boundary between crying and not crying? Like, you know, being super vulnerable and people not feeling like you a punk or whatever. Right. Like, what's the balance there?
There is none. It just depends on who you're around and what you're crying about. Yeah, and I think I've said this before. It's like you can cry at your mama's funeral, your grandmother's funeral, your aunt's funeral. You of course, you know, your kid, a homie, maybe, you know, and around the other homies.
Around other homies,
but and even with that, you can only do that shit one time. You can't drag that shit out. You can't hold on to that emotion for no long period of time. And I'm gonna tell you, matter of fact, I'll give you a perfect example. I remember when Auntie Gloria passed. And I was dating this young lady, because we don't say names, because I almost said it. And I remember I was sitting in the living room, and I was like, man, oh my God, I was like all fucked up and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, what's wrong? And I was telling us like, yeah, I was thinking about my aunt and everything that happened. And she said, don't you think it's time you got over that?
Oh wow!
I said, yeah, it's time for you to go home.
I
said motherfuckers out of my house. I was like, yeah, it's time for you to go home. I just need some time by myself. You know what I'm saying? And sent her home. But it's like, yeah, you because she gets a pass because we was in our 20s, so it might have been an immaturity thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? But even as an adult, I got, no man supposed to be crying behind nothing. That's bullshit. I'm a fucking human being.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So the tie-in is like, it just depends who you with and why you're doing it. It goes back to what I was saying. Like being a man, it's almost not even about a criteria. It's just about the set of rules. You know what I'm saying? And really, now that I think about it, to really get by that as men, we got to stop catering to the bullshit rules.
Yeah, you got to.
I was gonna say
that falls on us. Right, because man to man will hold each other accountable for those fucking rules. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, because I think when Percy passed away, Mama called me. I was still in my second marriage. We ain't saying names, but yeah, I wanted to. I was devastated. That was my dude. I ain't gonna say practically. He raised me.
Yeah.
All my core values come from him. So, but my wife was there. She asked me what happened. I told her what happened. She was sympathetic in everything. And trust me, I wanted to break down. Didn't do it. Didn't do it at the funeral. I think I ended up like going on the lakefront. And I just broke down right out there. So, because I didn't want to do it in front of her. When I was at the funeral, I felt like I had to be strong for everybody else. So, because you went up there and you did your speech. That was when you found you was pregnant. So,
Yep, I did.
Yeah. I was so sad for everybody else. So it was, it's hard. But I think after a while, I stopped caring about all that. What the hell people thought and all of that, and all these unwritten rules and shit. I'm like, fuck that. If I'm emotional, I need to cry. Fuck it. I'm gonna cry. Say what you want.
Thank you.
If you get on my nerves that bad, I punch you in the face.
Punch you in the face, bro.
We don't violence on this show.
Unless it's necessary. Unless it's absolutely necessary.
But that's agreeable. Like, I think if y'all came together, and held each other accountable to like stop catering to the rules, and I think for women too, to not stop having dumbass expectations, like that men ain't human, right? And all that, because you cannot on one hand say I want my man to be vulnerable, and then on the other hand call him a punk when he cry. Like that.
That has confused me ever since the first time I heard it. When I first heard it, I was like, that makes no sense at all. You want him to be vulnerable, but then you're gonna call him a bitch ass nigga if he's vulnerable. So
because it's a selfish request, though. They want you to be vulnerable with them, with their vulnerable issues.
Right.
But you can't be vulnerable about your own vulnerable issues, because it's shitty, because most women that have that mentality don't want to deal with your vulnerability shit. They don't. It's not, and and they could put it however they want to put it, but they don't give a damn about what it is you're going through.
Right.
Vulnerable when I'm going through something. You know what I'm saying?
But the crazy part is they was asking for something that they was already getting.
Yeah, no, I can believe that.
He was already getting that. Because if you come home and you say, oh my God, my mother passed away, I'm gonna do everything that I can to I can't make you feel better because goddamn your mama did.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But I can do what I can. You was already getting that.
Yeah.
But no, Brian's 100% right. Because if you think about it, a lot of women, they come home, you be like, hey, baby, how was your day? Hey, baby, how was your day? Well, you know, hey, hold on. I got to go do this. I'll be right back. Or you talking and you can tell like they ain't really paying attention to what you're saying. And then we do this. Well, you know, never mind.
Yep. And I ain't gonna lie, that is man. And like nigga won't say that. Nigga just be like, yeah, and such. Shit. No. And then you think like she ain't fucking listening. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll close and be like, yep, and that's what happened. Just cut off in the middle of fucking thing. He'll be like, damn, that's crazy, baby. I can't believe that happened to you.
But you ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, ain't shit even happened to me. You know what I'm saying?
But I spent 2 hours listening to your whole bullshit day, and in my head, I'm like, that wasn't really a fucking issue.
Right.
But it was an issue
for you.
Right. So you know what? I'm gonna act like it's an issue for me too. Right. Yeah, and I'll be like, damn, I can't believe they did that. In the back of my mind, I'm gonna be like, that was some simple shit. You just needed to do what the fuck they asked you to do.
I remember Kevin Hart there. He was just like, I'm listening to her, and she told us that he's like, nah, backspace, delete that. Like, not my baby, not my what they said. What to you, baby?
But that falls under the rule of, of protection. That falls under the rule of protection. Yeah, what a lot of women don't see is like, and just like you say, it's not just about how much you could bench press and all of that, but you are protecting that woman's feelings and emotions. So you're gonna be overly involved. And then if it was a problem at work and she say, man, fuck them people, you're gonna be like, yeah, no, motherfuck them people, fuck them people. Like, you really know what happened because you really invest in, and you have to. You have to, for the most part, just in case it is something you might need to go to that job and, you know what I'm saying, and put your foot down somebody ass for, Okay.
All right. So speaking of protection and provision, because which we've talked about before, but let's talk about it again. Like what falls under provision? Providing.
Oh, providing?
Providing look like.
I mean, the general sense, the taking care of the bills and all of that type of stuff. But for me, it's also like, that emotional support. Because like recently, Melissa just, she had surgery on her arm. So I was already prepared to be Mr. Belvedere. You know what I'm saying? So, and we had a good time. I'd be a damn liar if I said there wasn't those times when I was like, babe, and I'm just trying to sit down. You know what I'm saying? But it is a lot. But if it was easy, it would be no sacrifice. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So, but I think it goes beyond the financial. It goes into those kind of things, and it also goes into being okay. You know what I'm saying? Like for yourself. You know what I mean? Like because if I'm good, she's good. You know what I'm saying? So like taking care of my my mental. Right. And carrying that, that positivity, all over the house. So, as much as you can anyway, 2025 nigga, they ain't got no food stamps. So,
gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. How can a woman support you in your self-care?
Damn, I never even thought about
self-care
support. I don't know. Find that clip of that Heineken commercial. Because that would be it.
The Heineken commercial. Yeah.
Yeah. Just for real be there. And I think for most men, they want the Heineken commercial. I'm a finding player for y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. But in acknowledgement, like you know what I'm saying. Like most of the time, men just want that acknowledgement. It's not about just like, oh, you should know and you do these things. Like, let me know that you know I'm doing these things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a motivator, it's a confidence builder, and it's a keep on keeping on. It give you that feeling. You know what I mean? And that stand by your man piece. Like a man don't want to walk into a room and say, well, nah, I think what we should do is this. And then the first thing is woman says, nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you like, and then it fuck with your manhood, it fuck with your mental, and you don't want to say too much because it's going to turn into a humbug. And once things turn into an argument, you're no longer talking about what the argument was about. You're talking about some shit that happened in 2018. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all kind of bullshit like that. So you wind up just leaving it alone. But the next time you be like, yeah, I think we should do this. And then your woman say, nah, we ain't doing that. You go, you know what? Fuck that. Because you do that shit every time I say, there go the argument. You see what I'm saying? So really hear that man out. You know what I mean? And that support, it's just a give back of what's given. You know what I mean?
Okay. Anything to add, Fred? Or did he say it all?
What he said was on point. It was on point. And just like do the little things. Like perfect example. I'll give you a perfect example. I do the kitchen.
Okay.
My wife cook pots and shit all over the place. I do that, stay up, clean up the kitchen, do all of that. The past 2 days, she did it. Didn't ask.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Just did it. You know what that said to me?
What to you?
She appreciates the fact that I do this on a regular basis.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So kitchen gonna be spick and span next go around. Not because she finally did it, but because some days I be tired. I look at that kitchen and be like, man, fuck that kitchen.
I know that's right.
but I'm Shirley's child. It is hard for me to go to bed with a sink full of fucking dishes. I look at that shit and be like, man, I'm going to bed. Fuck these dishes. And I get right out the bed and go do that shit. Right. But the fact that she just did it means you appreciate the fact that I'm doing it.
Right.
Right. And it is just simple. It's just simple acknowledgement. I can't go sleep in no dirt. I need that kitchen clean when I get up in the morning. Because I do the kitchen 99% of the time too. But because I don't even want the kids to do the kitchen. They leave shit. I feel like they leave shit on purpose. It's like they're cleaning up the whole kitchen and then just this one fucking cup sitting there. I'm like, you nigga, you put that shit there. You did that on purpose to fuck with me, you know?
Is that how my mom feels about that one fork in the sink? They're talking about all these damn dishes.
Yeah, Mona kill your ass. You leave a fork in the goddamn sink. Yeah, when they they don't stack the dishwasher like I stack the dishwasher.
Nah, that shit be looking random as fuck. and I love my wife, but she'll start that damn dishwasher. It'll be two fucking things in that damn dishwasher. I mean, like as soon as I see it running, and I know I didn't start, I'm like, I bet it's goddamn.
I bet it ain't nothing in there.
Open that shit up is a pot and a cup. I'm like, you could have got buku shit up in here.
Like I'll have like my bowls and shit on the bottom and they'll stack it. They got glasses on the bottom, bowls on the top, sauces on the top, pots all over. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, but you know what? I appreciate the fact that they thought about me enough to stack this shit.
Right,
so I hit that button and I just let it wash.
Not me. I appreciate the fact they did it, but I'm rearranging that
rack.
I'm rearranging that fucking rack. But yeah. And that's the whole thing. It's just about, acknowledgement. It's like, hey, I'm here too. You know what I'm saying? And because you don't know. I think for most men, they feel we recognize what we do, for our significant other. So we like we doing this, we doing that, and we recognize what women do, the likelihood that a woman does something, and a man say, "Damn, you don't never do." We ain't saying that.
No,
but a woman has that right, and it's acceptable for a woman to say, you never do thus and so. And the first thing, a man ain't gonna argue. He'll be like, I don't. But shit, I'm gonna start doing that. I mean, what you nigga? He'll be like, I always do that, bitch. What you talking about? Ain't gonna do that. We gonna be like, oh, okay, well, shit, I'm gonna start doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll start doing it. But when we in that situation, that's why we look for that acknowledgement, because without asking for it, because for one, we don't know how to ask for it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know how to
okay, that's what I was gonna say too. Yeah,
don't even don't know how to even approach that shit.
Because if we say it, it's gonna sound fucked up.
Right. If we say it right, it's gonna sound super fucked up. It's gonna sound all discombobulated. Because we have to drag it out and turn it into a conversation, or sit there and watch a fucking Tyler Perry movie with you, and when something happens, go, hey, like that. That's what I be talking about. You know. So because you can't, because you don't want to be looked at in that weak way. Because I remember one time I was talking to a good friend of mine, and she was saying, we was talking about relationships and all that, and I was talking about all the things I do for my wife, and then she was sitting there like, that's what I'm saying, be her peace. And I remember feeling like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm gonna do. Never realizing I need that shit too. You know what I'm saying? And it's the real truth is most women, and you could tell me as a woman now, do women have that conversation where they woman to woman saying, girl, you know what you need to do for your man? Because men have those conversations. Are men talking to women? Girl, this is what you need to do for your girl. Or this is what you need to do for your wife. Or men will say, man, look, bro, you really want to make your wife happy, you need to do. But no, I always wondered, do women have a conversation? But
just like you said earlier, it looks different between younger women and older women, right? And if I'm an older woman in the midst of younger women and all that, and I can give you what I know, right? Because I hear from y'all, I talk to men, and I've learned a lot just doing therapy, right? And stuff like that. I learned a lot from my man, right? Because literally, like, he different. He reminds me of y'all, right? And so we do have those conversations, but it just looks different because young women do think silly things, right? Or want more, or they're like, because I need him to, and what you doing? And did you say thank you when he did the thing, right? And stuff like that. But those conversations do happen, though. They do. Okay. Depends on who's in.
I wondered too. I always wondered if y'all.
Yeah, sure. Because I'm like, do we have a lady out there that's speaking on our behalf, saying all the shit we want to say, but can't say, or just don't say, or don't think to say? Yeah, you know what I mean.
You know what, Brian? That's why I started. Even when I started going on Black Show, and all that, I am always. And it was one other Men of the Prize. I went on that podcast because he only talks to men, right? Okay. He wanted to be exclusively men, and I asked him. He had one woman on the show from at that point, and I just asked him if I could infiltrate a little bit because I wanted to give men props, right? And I needed men to know that there are women out here who are like, nah, I see you, I hear you. I'm down for my black man, and and all that kind of stuff, and to lift y'all up, because the general consensus over several years have been like, we don't give a damn about y'all, and that's just not
right.
That's propaganda, and I think that also is systemic, right? Because if you set it up to look like black men don't like black women and black women don't like black men, then we all believe in the narrative and acting accordingly.
Exactly.
And so you got another split between us, right? Yep. Which is why I love when Andrew Stone is Black Brother, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was my
powering song, and when I listen to that, I'm like, yeah, because that's how I feel, Right. So and many of us feel like that, but if media would tell it, we don't.
Right.
Which reminds me of this other clip that I'm gonna play. Let's see this.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
All that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk.
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
That shit was about to turn into a heated fucking argument. Some of what she said was
wait. Yeah. That was Excel Motivate at TikTok. So
yeah, y'all check them out. I'm gonna check them out. I want to see the rest of that conversation. Yeah. But some of what she was saying made sense. Nothing he said made any fucking sense. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
that one because there are men who are having that mentality of what.
Yeah, I know a cat like that too.
You know, and all that, and so, but that's not what women looking for, right?
Well, on his podcast, that's what he pushes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, but I looked at his when I picked that. When I sent you that, I was thinking about Brian when I sent you that.
Damn,
because
because
no, because
because you would shut that shit down.
Because
who dog is that?
That was my time.
Thank God.
That's what he pushes because that's the thing that's going on right now. People are, that qualifies for the women who are looking for that.
Right.
But when I hear it, I'm like, you're not looking for a real relationship.
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
You're not looking for nothing long term. You're looking for, as Brian said earlier, I'm gonna stick it in and
I'm gonna leave, right?
Yeah. So he's caught up, in the imagery of what that shit looks like and things. Niggas sound like, but to me, that's low self-esteem niggas. That's low self-esteem niggas because I was shining, and I ain't gonna lie, I was shining bright like a candle when I was working for Waste Management. I used to hop off the back of that fucking truck, and every attractive woman, I was like, "Hey, baby, you ever went on a date with your local trash man?" You know what I'm saying? And that shit was hilarious. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. It's like people, women, and I think a normal human being, period. You know what I'm saying? And, in the female genre, is attracted to a man of good character. Because I don't give a fuck how much money you make. Yeah, that's your money. It was whether I knew you or not, that would still be your money. So how does your money make you more attractive unless you're a gold digger? Unless your focus is the money. And why would your height matter? Unless you a goddamn manager for the Lakers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like none of these attributes, make you. And what the fuck is a top 10? These niggas stay making up.
I knew you was gonna use the top 10 thing. I was waiting for that.
That's why I said, man. When I picked that one, that's why I said I thought about you. Because that's the same thing. I'm like, Kevin Samuels started that shit.
That top tier and high quality.
Yeah, he's high quality, man. Yeah, that's just made up fucking vernacular though. That shit don't even mean shit.
Yeah,
I ain't never made $100,000 a year in my fucking life. But my character and my swag was off the chain. I was clocking chicks broke as a motherfucker considered according to them. But it was character. I prided myself on having great character and unwavering confidence.
Because let's be real, if you have great character, if you're doing the things that y'all are talking about, right, and all that, nigga, we can be broke together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about that. It's about, are you gonna stick with me through the hard times? Are you gonna?
Because those are the things that make a solid relationship.
Right.
Sitting up there, people talking about, oh, we happy every day of the week. Y'all motherfuckers failing. You understand what I'm saying? If you ain't never been through shit, it's the hard time. Like you buy a fucking car. You know how when you know that motor good, when that motor start acting up and you put that motherfucker in the shop and you get it fixed. You understand what I'm saying? So it's, oh my God, I would love to go on that show. I would have laughed at that nigga for 15, 20 minutes. Like, first of all, what the fuck is a top tier man? You nigga, one, you're tall, you're linky, you look, you know, who the fuck cares how much money make? And for real, it's 2025. $100,000 a year ain't enough. Ain't enough. Because we bringing that in, and nigga, you still be like, fuck that. I might get this loan from Navy Fed. Shit don't add up to shit. Fucking rent and house notes is well into the threes, depends on what size household you need. So that's bullshit, you know. And like I said, I hate when people brag on their money or their material items. I think that's your shit. Yeah, that's your shit. You having that means nothing to the other fucking person. That's not their shit. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a shallow ass person, and that's what you're attracted to.
Bam.
So and you got that's what you're attracting. So don't go out here and say, in order for you to be a top tier man, you got to be 6'2", you got to be making over $100,000 a year, you got to be doing this, you got to Right. You know a lot of motherfuckers that make over $100,000 a year that are certified assholes. Including the nigga we watched in the clip. You know, and don't attract nothing but the same shallow motherfuckers that he is. Right, because for one, with her to get a piece of ass, she with you to get whatever she can get out of you. Right. And when both of y'all get tired of each other, y'all out of there. Looking for the next shallow motherfucker. That's all those kind of men will attract, because the thing that they putting out there is their material parts. So you're only going to attract people that's interested in your materialism. So then when you try to be a vulnerable man, or you try to be an open man, there will be like, bitch, what you crying for? You make $100,000 a year. You drive a Bugatti. Because the shit you introduced, this is how you introduce yourself to me. You didn't share with me who you are as a person. So guess what? I never gave a damn about who you were as a person. And now you want me to? No, that's what I mean. Low self-esteem niggas. Because you could have nothing and still be somebody, because those things are not the things. All you did was spend some money and apply at the right job. That's all. That's pretty much all you did. But as far as what the lady was saying, she was good. She was good. She was sounding strong and making sense at first, but then she kind of started easing in. When she went into what makes a man top tier is what that man needs to do for that woman. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if she would have been saying everything she said, and she said what makes a top tier man is a man where a woman can recognize these things in him, and then reciprocate these things back to him. Because she started out making sense, but then she started talking the same way he was talking.
That's what I thought, because I couldn't figure out what, because when I first watched her, I was like, yeah, that's how I was. I couldn't figure out why I felt ill afterward. I was like,
it turned into drift into what was talking about. Because I have these things, I'm top tier. Her shit's eased right into, if you really want to be a top tier things, these are the things you need to do for me. You know what I'm saying? So she started out strong though, but she failed on the back end. She fell off on the back end. I said the same thing when I saw the clip. I was like, I'm just sending this because this nigga is an asshole. And the first part of her conversation was good. I sent it because she shut his ass down in the beginning. Right. And that's why he was able to come back and hit her with the woman shit. Yeah, she played herself on the back end.
Yeah, you sound like everybody else. Me. You know,
right?
Just say you don't want to be in a committed relationship. That's it. Just say that.
Right, and it's similar to saying, Ron, like we attract what we are.
Right.
Right, and so if you're out here slinging cash, then you're gonna attract the gold digger, right?
Yep.
And all that. And my mentality is always, nigga, you can lose that shit tomorrow.
Exactly. That nigga podcast die off tomorrow. His ass, he ain't making over $100,000.
Better than that. What if we wake up tomorrow and money has no value?
Exactly.
Which
and that shit can happen. You know what I mean?
It could easily happen.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, our little penny is going away, right? You know, they stop making a penny and all that. Like what happens when money is obsolete, right?
Right.
So then what do you have? What does your six figures mean then? Right?
Exactly.
All that.
You just another nigga with braids.
Basketball in the NBA, the height don't matter, but oh wait, money has no value again. So now being an NBA player don't look so hot, right? You just look like a lanky nigga walking down the street. You know what I'm saying?
You just be a tall ass nigga with a beard.
And stuff like that. So like it has to come down to your character, right?
Right.
And even for women,
like things that matter.
Yeah, even for women, like, you know, what value are you going to hold in the person that you're going to partner with, if that's what you're looking at. If that's what you're looking at, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you.
Because if you just chasing after me for my cash, don't expect me to give a fuck about nothing that you value.
Right.
You came to me because I'm making $250,000 a year.
Right.
So
I
don't give a damn how you feel, what's going on in your life. Look, I paid for this, and this. You need to do this, and this. There you go. It's a transactional relationship.
Like I said, a lot of these ladies just keep renaming prostitution, and that's
it.
Ooh, that's good. That's
all the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you have a man for his money, you a hoe. Because
it's simple.
That's what hoes do. You know what I mean? The only difference is we respect more because they tell you flat up, look, $500, nigga, I give you some booty.
Right. It's clear. It's clear.
So, it's simple as that. And that's all it is. They just keep redefining prostitution over and over again. And for real, them, you know, what it is, high value man and all that shit, just keep redefining low self-esteem nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that shit comes down to. You nigga, you ain't no fucking high value man. You only mean what you mean to the people that you mean that to. You know what I'm saying? Your value only lies in that area. You understand? It's like being a fucking brain surgeon living on an island and everybody has a perfectly healthy brain. You got all these fucking skills and it doesn't mean shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So,
because I guarantee you his mama is not calling him a high value man. If you ain't shit, my mama gonna tell you, if I ain't shit, she gonna say you ain't shit.
If you ain't shit. All day, every day. Have black men ever had the opportunity to define manhood for themselves without any external?
No. That's
Never.
A strong no.
No.
Right. I mean, because like I say, all the definitions very little have to do with the man himself. It has to do with what that man can do for the people that around, the people that he take care of, or the people, you know, the people that he loves, the people in his general vicinity. There's very little, there's almost nothing in the definition of being a man that identifies with self-care at all.
True. Because how many men that's alive have you heard people say great things about? Why they alive?
Oh, why they alive? I was about to say, you put that. I was about to say, Planet. Wait a minute, they all dead.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Does, because also, and even the smallest example, when we was doing the it was in Houston. We went to the grocery store. And it was me and my crew and all of us, you know, other women, we all went to the store and we saw a nice looking black guy. All right. and we all huddled up like, check him out. Wait, he fine. Oh, he's on chocolate. And I can see he turned a minute because we was being like getting little girls, right? And stuff like that. And he caught a glimpse and I saw him grin. And I was like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. And so Rochelle was thinking, she said, men, especially black men, never get complimented to their face. And so he went over there and intentionally complimented him to his face, right? So he smiled, he said, thank you. And you see how, he was lit up and all. And we over there like, that's right. She telling the truth. Yeah, that's right. Yep. And all that. And with that, I wonder what that did for him walking away from that. Because like I said, he could see us doing it, but to have that solid in his face, like, you a nice looking black man.
Right.
And what that did for like, you know what I'm saying? Do we need more of that?
Yeah, we really do, because it would help a lot of things. One, you'll have less stupid ass niggas walking around talking about their high value man. You know what I mean? Because like I think about it, like that's where that shit come from. It's like, oh, you're not gonna put me up there, I'm gonna put myself up there. But it just sounds so fucking ridiculous the way they do it. You know what I mean? Because the things they lean on are not things of value. You know what I'm saying? They just material things. Every fucking body got a car. Don't matter what name it is, they all do the same shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So what are like your characteristics that you value? And the only thing I would say with regard to like it depending on a woman is the individual delivery of the character, I guess I would say, right? Right. Like I am a strong-willed woman. I need somebody to tell me no a lot. Like, I need somebody not to let me run roughshod. Because I got big personality and I take up space and all that. And all that. But I mean, I have somebody who's able to allow me to take up space, but still be like, girl, sit down if you need to, like, woman.
Right.
I'd be like, cool. I ain't gonna say nothing, And that's more of a just gotta have a thing to say. If you could tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. If you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. But if you could tell me what to do, you could tell me what to do.
Didn't Jill Scott say that?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. I heard that interview. I was like, yeah. But it made sense though. It made sense though,
right? Yeah. And so that's like the essence of a man who is the things y'all describe. It's like then a woman, it puts you in position of I can definitely submit to that.
Right.
I can definitely submit to that. Right. But I can't submit to assholes. I can't submit to somebody that think they paper is everything. I can't submit to somebody who, want to lead like Ike Turner. Right. Like there are certain qualities in manhood that will soften even the most aggressive woman, right? A woman that's operating in masculine energy is a woman who feels unprotected. Is a woman who don't feel safe, right? And so, but put her in a safe environment, she will melt like fucking butter, and you don't have no problems, I promise you. And you ain't got to make $10 trillion a year, right? And all that. She'll be in the muck and the mire with you and all that. Do y'all have any final thoughts for the men's?
Brothers, take your time, like focus on yourself. Just treat yourself with the same amount of value and the same amount of importance that you treat all the people that you will live, die, and kill for. You know what I'm saying? But remember, take care of you too. Both mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And if you in a relationship and if you're having like those type of problems, like really, really, really sit down and talk, and maybe some decisions you have to make that may change. And you may find out that your spouse might be, this is exactly what I wanted to hear from you, because maybe they didn't know how to approach it. Because remember, you're dealing with two individuals, two different personalities, two different characters, and two different ways of thinking. The happy life, happy wife, happy life thing, let that shit go. Because I'm 100% believer that a relationship is 100. Because if both of y'all ain't doing something, both of y'all failing. You understand what I'm saying? So approach everything with that mentality. And ladies, pay attention to your man. You know what I'm saying? Give him some props the same way you'll give your girl props because she opened up the boutique. You know what I'm saying? Next door to Walona Woods boutique and shit. You know, you know, she worked at the boutique. But yeah, I mean, remember your man in those accolades. You know what I mean? If you want a man to do something, trust me, it's easy because we already want to do that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? But don't make us feel like you telling us because you think we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a self-esteem killer. And all it does is brings out that aggression. Now we got to be overly macho shit because we trying to get that piece of manhood back that we just lost for a second, you know?
Right.
But Big Fred?
Real simple. Ladies, this one for the ladies. When you think we're not paying attention, we're paying attention. We're paying attention to everything you say, everything you do. Cater, not so much as cater to your man. Rub your man head, give your man some affection. He at home with you. That's supposed to be his safe space. Guys, don't be afraid. If you with a woman who genuinely loves you and willing to listen to you and understand, don't shut yourself off. Leave that macho bullshit at work, at the barbershop or wherever. Be open with your woman. You'd be surprised. Just like Brian said, you'd be surprised. This might have been the shit she been waiting to hear from you. She didn't know how to ask you. So that's my words in everything that he said. He took the majority of my stuff. You know.
As your no bullshit therapist, I am going to say to men and to women too, but heal your inner child. Because I think that's where the gap happens, is that there are unhealed pieces of us that we are looking to still fulfill. And while relationships are indeed healing, it is your job to heal your inner child, not your mates. They can't be for you what your parents didn't be. They can't fill in the spaces that wasn't filled in when you was a kid. You have to do that. You have to go inside of yourself and count yourself as worthy. Like, it should not be dependent upon your mate to prove to you that you're worthy. You're worthy because you're worthy, first of all, because you exist. Second, I mean, y'all chose each other, right? For whatever reason, y'all chose each other. And so that means you're worthy of being chosen, right? And for woman to woman, stop tripping. Like, everything cannot be all about us. Plain and simple. Like, it's a relationship. Just like in parenting, everything ain't all about the kids. Everything ain't all about the parents. Like, it's two beings coming together and stuff like that. So, like, both need to get their needs met. It's a symbiotic relationship. One feeds the other and vice versa. But if it's only going in one direction, it's parasitic. Like, you don't want no parasite, like just sucking all the things out you and all that. That's when relationships die. So stay considerate in those relationships and keep healing yourself in order to be in a healthy one.
Shown up.
So on that note, let me get to my I was on the wrong page, yo.
Put your glasses back on.
Shut up. We are conscious, we're aware, we stay prepared, but we ain't never scared. And I ain't scared to punch Fred in the face if I need to, with or without my glasses on. Or I need to get my eyes checked again, my glasses acting up or whatever. I'm gonna get it together. Today's be hurting my nose and stuff like that.
And folks, don't forget, subscribe, like, share this video with a friend who needs to hear this.
Especially my beer man and all that. Yeah.
Share with these high value man.
All these social media platforms. We're all over. We're on Amazon.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize
I don't even know how we got on Amazon, but we are
on Amazon.
Go on there and look and make sure it's all updated.
I can honestly say we are on 99% of all social media platforms.
The only thing we're not on is the Apple, but I'm still working on.
And we're not on Twitter.
Funny.
And we're not on Twitter. We don't do Twitter at all. Sorry, X.
X.
Don't want
No thanks.
We also have Facebook groups, Cycle Breaking Black Men, Cycle Breaking Black Women, and the Cycle Breaker Village. We just started a new Facebook group, Cycle Breaking Whole Mamas, and that is focused on mental health and womb health and mamas and all the things associated with that, infertility issues, PCOS, all that stuff. And there will be a support group for that starting on the 11th of November, which is Tuesday, I think, at 7 p.m. You can go to the website. You can message me or whatever it is. If you're interested in that group, is free for the first 30 days of the group. And afterwards, you will be very affordable. But get in how you fit in, get some support and all that. And we'll be starting some other groups later on, including a Black males group. And and our Black women's group will be bonnets and muumuus. It's about unmasking. I'm leading that one. So we'll let you know about that one as well. So in the meantime, don't let nobody bullshit.
Wait a minute.
What?
I just got a suggestion. I'm gonna put this out here right quick. Black Friday, instead of throwing your money away on that bullshit, find a family, find you a family that's dealing with this SNAP crisis. Hook them up. Hook them up with some food. Because we ain't trying to spend no money on no bullshit. Now it's time to make this stand all over again. But find your family that has that need and shoot something to them.
I like that.
I like that. I'm going to actually do that.
Choosing Empowerment and Meta Association is probably going to give away a gift card to a grocery store soon to help a family out as well. And speaking of which, I'm glad you mentioned the Black Friday thing as well. There's an economic blackout. Yep. Do not be spending no money during this Black Friday and Cyber Monday all the way through the end of Cyber Monday.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that Cyber Monday.
Don't forget about that, right? Because if we hit them in the pocket, they gotta change some things. You know,
let's be real, people.
Great job with Target.
Y'all got enough damn TVs,
for real. You don't need
Xboxes and PlayStations and laptops. You got 50 you got enough laptops at your house to take over the world. You don't need no more of that shit.
Absolutely. And with that being said, now y'all be cool out there and don't let nobody bullshit you the whole week. All right.
Peace out.